Alright, hold on. My bad, I got this going real quick just so there's not complete silence while I'm getting things set up. That's not the Roland making this noise either. This is the Hydro synth. I just didn't want you guys sitting in silence. Had to set up a different chair. I'm over here, half cocked to the side. Okay, enough of that. Alright, let's see if we can get adjusted here, folks. Okay, so here's the deal. Move this over. I don't have time during the day. I don't have time really to do anything musically throughout the week. So while we're on this schedule and we have reserved this time, figured we would do what we need to do here, which is kind of learn some more and navigate some more around here. I figured out the basics immediately, just to figure out the basics. But let me try to take this down. I don't know if it's saved like this. Oh, it's not going to go down. It's a little better, but that's there. Okay, let me go with the light here. Well, that's helpful over there, but not to the camera. Okay, so there's a lot of menu diving on here to get to where you need to go. But as far as playability goes and jamming, it's like immediate. So pattern lock, yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff does here. But what I have learned about some things are sampling, like the sample menu. Okay, you guys can see it over here. So this is how you import samples. So the SD card's already in there. I have it formatted and everything like that. I have tried to do whole folders in here to just like I have all the EA ski drums here. So like I want to put these on here. So I'm like, okay, well, let me get these Neve drums on here, you know. But every time I do, it always gives me this error, and I'm like, why is it giving me this error? You know, so like I got to go in and first of all, when that does it, it takes you back, but at least it picks you up where you left off. I have to go back in and go to File and do it from the file. And when you go to the file, no matter which one it is, see that was the Neve drums. You know, all these like I could take it right away. Let me get the D1. You know, and it'll do it. It'll take it. And then when you go to the sample menu over here, and it goes to the parts. Now I already have this on here, so it's actually actively changing it on this project here. And that was the Neve. Let's see, that should be later, right? 16 shots. See, I got my stuff in here too from the converted Tussin. DL. Oh wait, hold on. My bad. DL. I forgot to turn it down. I was all ready to make a stink. How's it going? Oops. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Gotcha. Overlooked. He said overlook. Overlook what he said. So I'm doing just that. Where's that Neve shot? See, I got to get them all individually. So you can imagine how tedious it is in here. Now I got hundreds. I didn't count how many directly, but I have hundreds. Sorry, I'm going real slow here because I don't want to pass it up. Is that it? So it's going to be before all that. Aftershock, earthquake. So I had it on the earthquake drums. So that kick that you guys heard in my last hardware jam, that was from the earthquake drums. So, see, this is why I put the thing in there. See, aftershock, aftershock, aftershock. So what I did on here was I went through the presets over here. Yeah, no problem, man. I went through the presets on here. So you go through the pattern select, and there's quite a bit going through it, and it goes all the way up to, I guess, page 6 it would be. And what happened here was I started creating my own from scratch, and as I started creating my own from scratch, I just went to the next, to the next. But as I saved this last one, it saved the samples that I used on all of them. So all three of them had the same one. So let's see. My bad. Let me cut that down a little bit because yeah. I already got this thing beasting out on here. So now that I got the EA Ski drums in here, I got it beasting out times like a million. Let me cut it down some so your sensitive ears. Thank God for limiters. I love this feature too. Now it's only on the ones that are lit up over here, and it's only while it plays. But it's a cool little thing to have because it's like on the fly everything. Just like everything when you tweak the knobs over here with the thing too, like whatever you have selected over here. Fud. This one all set up all weird. So this is the hat. And then this one controls the effects over here. For here's the pass filter. So yeah, it's dope because like right away you get functionality, you get to play with it and all that other stuff. So as I set this up, I'm not going to save it as it is, and it'll pop in the other one. So this one's what is it? Drum and bass. It saves it all for all. I think this is the only one I have a variation on. So this is the variation menu. Each pattern has variations, a set of variations. So you could load that many into it. And there is a way, and maybe we'll figure it out here, because I'm not one to read the manuals. You know, I mean, if it's something big, I will. I usually do. You know, I mean, we love our startup guides for things. But especially with something like this, like I'd prefer just to get my hands on it. I tried watching tutorials on this, and I can't. I can't. I could watch tutorials all day on it, and just for the sake of ingesting. That's my television. you know, so it's cool. But I won't. Like I could retain the information, sure, but like I don't learn that way. You know what I mean? Like I do better figuring it out. So that's what we did. Figure some stuff out off camera. Figured out how to import samples, get things going, so I could use my own drums and program my own sequences to do hardware jamming. So mission accomplished. So all the drums, weren't superficial per se, even though some of the patterns were already built patterns. The ones that were already built patterns, I had drums that I put in there, so it had my unique flair on it, with the exception of one, which was right when I got this, doing a jam with it immediately. But that was just a four on the floor minimal. It wasn't anything, anything. Plus, pumping it through this Yamaha makes a huge difference. It's pattern based. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So these are all the patterns here. Basically, you could run it up on the TR, or use the knob to get through it. Um, I just can't figure out why when I saved this pattern. It saved these samples for all my other patterns. Sounds like I'm gonna get all DJ Screw on you. So you can just. So, dope stuff right off the bat. So it's pretty easy, except for like I don't understand why it did that with me. So when I was figuring this out and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and play with it, I haven't been able to sit down today. And typically throughout the day, I don't get a chance to sit down other than at these hours. That's why I picked these hours to stream. So I was like, oh, well, learning it and learning it. So, I got some figuring out to do on some things, I've only had this for a couple weeks, really. Actually, has it been a month already? Yeah, I mean, geez, time flies. So with that, I've only picked it up to do the hardware jams and have a little bit here and there between stuff. So like I said, what I was doing at first was repurposing the stuff that it already had. So, figuring out which ones that I wanted. So, like the first one here. So that sounded a lot different coming out of it. Um, and I just changed the samples in it, and then it has the variations and the effects. So yeah, I'm still biting. It's still not mine that I did or anything like that, but it's enough to hold me over in a situation if I need it. But I'm probably just going to end up clearing all these patterns out. And there's a clear button right here. So I'm sure if I just shift clear it, I could take care of that. That's how I figured out most of these things. Like to save things and to put things into place or whatever, I just fumbled around and try to do it. So save sequences can arrange in what order. Song mode, there is no song mode, only Zool. Yeah, that's people's complaint with it that there isn't a song mode, but I don't need a song mode. So long as I could play it live, I'll just record it into my DAW. It's not really a big deal. I'm thinking about getting a loop station. That way I could play a drum pattern and then do the variations on the drum pattern and then give myself 5 channels of synth to work with and be completely, out of the box. And then I'll record it into the box for sure, for actual recording. But I'm not looking to go the distance on here, I'm just looking, I got this to jam, and with it, it's the best feature of the Fantom, and there's actually parts about even this little box that the Fantom didn't have for features, such as the analog circuit behavior technology on the drums, such as being able to well, I mean, you could do the old knobby twisty on the fly or whatever, but it's a lot more not difficult but complex to sequence or program in the Fantom. With here, you just turn the knob and save it. Dunsky, you know. So it's not. It's like the best of it. How much did it cost? 400, I think. Pretty cheap. Yeah, it was 400. So I think, I don't know. Usually shift buttons open up the song mode. Yeah, I guess I have the first thing that I did, obviously I updated the firmware. So I guess we can go through that real quick. One of the things that it added to it in the firmware was the CR drum machine. Let me see if I could find one of the things. Because there's a whole, the CR78. So the classic CR sound is now in here. I don't particularly care for that because it's not the style that I use. I need some hard hitting drums. I don't. No offense to anybody who does it different or whatever, but I do heavy music. Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. So he said the fact that you have to buy something to go with it is not good. But that's the thing about it. Like it's a drum machine and it serves its purpose. Drum machines traditionally aren't meant to like. You could build enough of a pattern to go through. Like you could go through a whole song, but this is mostly for live, to do live things, to jam and stuff. Like I said, the reason why I got it. And the reason why I got the smaller one was obviously going out there, with the mini freak and everything. It's a lot easier to stack this on top and just do it. So yeah, I've been repurposing these presets, like this one. This was the one that I was playing yesterday because it's just like pretty smooth because it works well with What the hell did I put in water? The variations, it's explained in the beginning, like what its limitations are. So like I knew what I was getting into right away, because it's quite clear on how many patterns, how many variations, like what it'll hold and everything. And it's quite good, it's quite generous, So I mean, cool for that. Um, but like I said, one of the reasons why I was repurposing these ones is just for stuff like that, for like casual jams that I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have some drums to this or whatever. And it's funny because that was kind of like where that short came in, from when we were live streaming, and somebody suggested that I add a kick when I had the Hydrosynth going, and I was like, add a kick. I got this beat right here I've been working on. All right, let me go through a couple more. Yeah, this one was different. Let's see, that was the interesting one. This one right here. See, in the way that they're set up, there's so much I don't know about how to do the inner workings of these because of all the menu diving that you need to do. It's a crazy sounding little snare or whatever. Like I changed these samples to fit my own, but mostly kind of reverse engineering them to learn through a lot of it. So let me go through a few more of them. So that's the thing about it. Like, there you go. So this subcategory thing, like I don't know what this does right here. I haven't figured this out yet. Substep. So I also didn't see how many variations this has. Okay, so what I want to figure out first and foremost is I want to figure out how to get them to play through the variations. How do I program them to play through the variations? You know, this is what spending time with your gear, it matters. It matters because I would like to figure that out to have all these variations going just as well, when we're in the other patterns over here, and it just. My bad. I gotta add my tone in there to keep it from being fuzzy. No, I do not have an iPad. T-Mobile is trying to get me to sign up another line of service, and they'll just give me a brand new iPad. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds mighty tempting, but my phone bill is expensive enough. I don't need to add another line of service for that. All right. So that's kind of the reverse engineering that I'm talking about here, is trying to figure out how to keep it going. It'll probably be easy to figure out. That'll probably be one of those things that I actually look up, because as far as looking in things here, like when you go into the utility, most of the stuff you could figure out going through the utility, except for there's nothing that I can see that shows anything beyond just the screen over here. I want to dim these. And there's just so much of this that I haven't gone through because like I said, I haven't had the time. I just really haven't had the time. But that's not true. The truth is, I haven't made the time, so here we are, making the time. I have a tablet I don't use, though. I have Cubasis I don't use. I have the FL that I don't use. Okay, hold on. Let me go through a different pattern real quick. It's funny because I remember this being in the Fantom. Like, I've heard that so many times. It's like a standard, like, preset. I mean, a lot of these get you pretty far here if you rebuild them. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll check it out. MIDI designer. Dope. See all the different variations. I just want to do something that has the variations over here that I could just do. And like I said, there's so much more for me to learn on this. The thing that I like about it, as far as a live performance, from a live performance perspective, it's easy to get your hands on and start tweaking out and performing on it immediately. It's easy to figure out how to get samples in here, and as tedious as it is to go through every single one piece by piece, for whatever reason, error messages entire folders. You know, I've tried different variations of making different folders, and to no avail. Nice. Is it only for iOS? This is one that I changed. I changed the drums on here. I changed the drums on here and used it in the last jam. So that was fun. Yeah. That was the that 4 on the floor here is that's EA Ski. And that's dope to do that, to do all that on, you know, it's a cool little feature, you know, for your music. So like I enjoy that. So all right, let's scroll through a little bit more. So I haven't reconfigured all of these. Some of these I haven't even gone through to listen to find out if I want to reconfigure. That's what we're doing now. These are weirdly misshapen, like they're easy to come off, but they're not. They're just kind of unstable on the bottom, so even though they look all out of place here, they're nice and sturdy. Yeah, there's some on here that I just changed the tempo of, changed some of the stuff. This is really high highs. I mean, I do have my highs boosted or whatever, but I have the lows boosted too, so it's just really sharp highs on that CR78. Whew. I don't think I've tried to rework this one. And you know, it does have quite a bit of samples on it. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, the amount. So The good thing is that I like about it is that it automatically starts with your sampled samples. So right away it goes to what you have imported. I mean, that just may be where I started out sampling them, but hey, they're all right here. So whether I did that or it does it on its own, it works for me, and it handles quite a bit. Let me see. Let me just grab one of these kicks. Get that bitch ass snare out of there. Some of them it doesn't show you what sample it is. It just starts off at nothing. So if you just you're like, okay, those are clearly samples that are playing. Why is it nothing? Why is it nothing, Roland? It's weird stuff like that. Is it a deal breaker? No, absolutely not. Let's grab one of my hold on before I play it so we're not just pumping a bunch of drums. Let me do the example here of some of the stuff. See, while it does handle the synthesizer sample, it's because the variations. Sounds like crap. And the reason why is because even though it handles the sample of the synthesizer, it handles it like a TR. Because it was buried in here. Let's see if I can find something more reasonable. So there's a balance to find out what samples work and what samples don't when you're fooling around with the TR. I learned that with the Fantom. Oh, there's that Neve one. She's a little rough around the edges, but I like it too, but in all fairness, this is not the machine itself. Let me take off my my boost here. I can't take it out. Well, I mean, I could take it out. Okay, so this is without the highs and lows boosted. Now I'm going to turn off the SSL 4K transformers in the interface. You see what I mean? it sounds okay, but you still gotta get it there. Just like the Fantom, the Fantom sounds great, but you gotta get it there sonically. I mean, just the SSL brightness brightens it up. And there's also the sound of the Yamaha itself too, running it through an analog mixer. So kind of cheating here. Now, with all the EQ set how it is, that's just the difference of the SSL transformers. That's why the SSL interface reigns supreme. And I had the Rupert Neve one. I didn't have the newer one though, the one that's non-Steinberg. But I had the Steinberg version before this. All right, let's go. This one was interesting. It's like their take on what hip hop should sound like. I mean, go ahead, I guess. I used this one a few times. You could tell though, with all the stuff here, it's like need that EA ski, you want it to hit. And that's not going to work for 4 on the floor. I mean, it could in an alternate universe. But say I don't want that one. No, that's not going to work for it. I mean, you could pull it off. Yeah, this is the I think second or third one of these that I've had in my days. It's been around for a minute. It's the Yamaha MG 10XU. What is it? MG 10XU. With the effects, so I could be like yo. Somebody was like, hey, I want to do that, but that'd be biting, so I'm not going to do it. I was like, hey. This one was a cool one. But like after having the drums that I have uploaded in here, it certainly puts it into perspective. This is why I've been repurposing these, because I've been trying to wrap my mind around how these are built. Like, see, this one here has the... Now, is that a sample? Like if I were to use another kick on there, is it going to go up like that? It does skip. So that's part of it. So that's what I've been doing here. I've been getting lost and learning through that way. It's not a good way to learn. And I won't bore you guys with the details or sit on this stream forever and be like, duh, well, how do you figure out how to do this? But I just kind of wanted to showcase where I'm at with things and take some time with this. Because I haven't taken much time with it at all. I've been going through the tedious process of uploading samples, but I haven't had time to sit throughout the day, and I never have time to sit throughout the day. So, but I'm not just going to sit here and load all those samples up. No to that one. Yeah, see, I was like, I played that on a stream. Too harsh is what it's called. At 140, I could take it. Take it through the variations. So, I guess so it appears that as you go through the variations over here, so I would just be able to save the variation because I already know how to program the variations. You just go through and build a pattern, and then it's each variation. Technically, every variation is a different pattern, so that's where the 8 come in technically. So the question I had, which I think is being answered here, is the variation / pattern limitations the 16 bars, and it just is what it is? I mean, that kind of sucks for if that's the case. But yeah, I don't know anything that you could increase the length of the step sequencer. Is there such thing? I've also gone into the kit and tried to rebuild the kit, but that didn't work out either. So there's some cool stuff that I would like to save and repurpose on here, but I don't think, I mean, for the most part, I'm probably just going to wipe a lot of these. But I'm not going to start wiping them until I start building others. See, and that's a cool little house pattern. And I probably end up keeping that because I don't really build traditional house, especially like progressive house music. I mean, it's not very difficult to do. You know, everything's just variations of patterns and sequences and, you know, beats and rhythms and everything like that, you know. My beats per measure range is wide. You know, I go from 60 to 200. You know, that's why when we used to build here on the Fantom, we used to just do a random number generator and just go with whatever the number generated. And somewhere, you know, typically it'd meet somewhere in the middle, but sometimes you'd get a bunch at the same time that go one way or another. But you know, because I like doing drum and bass a lot, you know, and drum and bass will go all the way up to 200. But if I'm doing drum and bass on here on something that's 200, you know, that's a real quick 16 is what I'm saying. All right, let's see what else we got. Google's removing your messages. You're not making them self-destruct? Man, that's messed up. The AI caught your routine and they're like, you know what? Let's just do this kid a favor. I don't mean to say kid or anything like that. I'm just saying. The algorithm is our daddy. We are all children in the eyes of the algorithm. It's like they look like ants from up here. They are ants, Michael. Oh, in the Play Store? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get a comment taken out. If somebody lodges a complaint, that's all it takes, really. I like this one. This one's smooth. Which one's this one? So that's what I really want to do is figure out which ones I want to keep and which ones I don't. I don't like that. I don't mind that. So the hat's okay. Is it this one? So I got to go through each variation and turn that off. So go through variation 1 and then I go to the TR. Okay, it's off of there already. Go to variation 2 on the TR. Bam. Take that off. Go to variation 3 on the TR. Take that off. Bam. All right. Variation, get off of here. See, all you got to do is just do it. Oops. Nope, I'm not going to add. Oops. There we go. I'm going to take that shit off. Now I got to figure out how to do these lesson ones. Okay, now it should just. Okay, so now I can crack that snare. Let's crack that snare. Oh wait, I'm in the pattern select. My bad. Let's go with sample. Dave. Doubled up on the drums. Dave, the hot star. Nom 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 nom. Engage. Alright. Oh, I got the thing. Okay, what am I doing? using this clap. Nope. I gotta put more snares in it. Okay, so I think I've wrapped my mind around the workflow because I was able to remove the variance off of that. I still don't like that. I do like that one. What do I got here? Nothing? Nothing on the horn? Is it all taken off? Sorry about all the hair hands. A George Costanza hand model I am not. I think I could keep that. I'll turn the decay back up. What do I got up here? Ooh, weak. Need that EA ski. Had a lot more claps in here. Yeah, quite a bit. I think I'll leave it at that. What the hell is that? See, it doesn't even tell me. What is it? I'm watching out for the ones because they wedged mine in between the EA skis. Yeah, that's a whole ass sample. It ain't even gonna be on there. Yeah, I gotta import some more of my stuff. Well, why not? Let's go into their synth collection in the very, very, very back. There's vocals. Yeah, you heard that. Vocals. Okay, so chords are in the very back. Scales right before then. Bass right before that. And then synth right before that. What do you got here? They got lows and highs for each one. Not very many, but enough. Quite the spread on something for a drum machine. Yeah, it's not going to play all those, is it? Seems to only play crazy. Weird. So that's the problem, or I wouldn't say problem, I would say limitations. I would say problem. I would say problem too. Limitations, but problem. You can't always get what you want because the TR stomps on some of your hopes and dreams because the engine cannot handle it. No exception in here. Have you ever used a PreSonus audio box interface? I have. Will it operate by plug and play or will it require download drivers? It will require download drivers for sure. It required downloaded drivers when I had one. And you're talking 20 years ago. Back when it was only PreSonus audio box. That was right around the time that the Focusrites came out. There were the M boxes for the Pro Tools users. And yeah, that was pretty much it. God, interfaces, like, yeah, but you'll definitely need drivers for it. They should have them on the website, though. Why do you think Google is trying to save me? I don't know. Now, where can I put these? That's the question. If I outfit them all over, like what kind of sample could I use if I can't use a synth on there? Like, it seems just like the whole channel's muted and like useless because I've used up too much of it. So, you know, that's something to figure out. Yeah, I mean, it won't go with whatever. I'm in the voices right now. Maybe that's why, because this takes up too much room. No. So much for my theory. Oh. Maybe it's this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely import samples on it. I mean, they won't play like the imported samples play. They'll play like a sample plays in the TR. So with the TR, the limitations are whatever room you have left over between the instruments you play on. So you could only go so far. But it's still good that you could have those elements in them. Let me save this real quick. Yeah, so I'm on 213 is what I'm saving this as. So yeah, you just go on the pattern select, go to shift, and you could see them on here. very faint. I think they should be bright white. You could see it up close. Like, from what you see it as right here on the screen is pretty much how I see it. It's pretty much that faint to where you have to get in a very specific light and you still won't see the shit. So, you know, nothing's wrong with that, but I mean, sure, whatever. You're always going to be up close, but I can imagine it's quite the headache in the sun or whatever. But yeah, so you just you know, when you're in the pattern select, you're on this pattern and all the variations with all the new samples that I used. You just do shift, and over here, can you guys see that it says that? Yeah, it says right. So to right and overwrite, obviously you do the button in and OK. So, you know, Mr. Tusson's learning. Nedco music. Hold on. Nedco music. There you go. So yeah. And now, you know, I just reconfigured a pattern that, you know, may or may not work, you know, with whatever synth or whatever I'm doing at the time. All right, on to the next. Pretty cool. 80? That's 80? Somebody double timed on crack. That was Oh, I forgot to say, this fill-in button's really cool too, because it's just a breakdown. Pretty cool elements to just do things on the fly. I like it. Yeah, man. I want to keep this because this is kicking in. What the hell? Those elements aren't in there. How'd it go to that? Where'd you get the clap from, man? That's not in this. I don't understand so much about this drum machine. Oh, sorry, I left the hydrosynth running. All right. Yeah, there's some synthesizers in here. That's pretty cool. Pattern a lot. I really do. Trying to look something up over here. I definitely would have to change that one. I'm not going to rebuild that one though. Stop that. It is, isn't it? Yeah. So this one here has the 606, 707, 808, and 909 in it. All of it. It just doesn't have the only difference, and it has the exact same engine under the hood as the TR-8. The only difference is it doesn't have the 3,000 samples, and obviously the hardware is much different. But other than that, it has all those built into it. And now with the 2.0 update, I think that's what it was, they have the CR78 in it as well. We were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, it has all of them in here. But this is the bonus thing. You could import your own samples. And the higher level of bonus for me is that I have acquired all of the EA Ski drums except for the most recent ones and the SP-1200 drums. So a few hundred just drums, snares, percussions, stuff like that, some bass elements. They really stand out because he modeled all of his drums using, or designed all of his drums using hardware. He's got a lot of really nice equipment. You know, a lot of these drums are run through different processing chains, some SSL, some Neve, you know, some SP-1200s, which I do have some of those, just not the full kit because it came with the SP-1200 special edition. But yeah, it's crazy. You could load up your own. So I have all the converted Tussin as well. The thing about the converted Tussin, on sale now, is that it also has all of the drums that were on the Fantom, which are the same drums that are on here. The only difference is I processed them through the MPC 3000 limited edition. So they sound a bit different. Oh, and the SSL 4K transformer. So those two combined together. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's sampling your own stuff is super important, and having the good stuff out of the box is super important. It has enough to get you through without putting any samples in, but an SD card and some samples will get you a long way. Okay. I like this little groovy one, so that's 216. Probably clear that one out. Meh. I mean, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you know, this is my I've rounded off 3 decades of doing music from the time that I wrote my first song. I was 13 years old, and I'm officially on my 30 years. So I've been through a lot of equipment, drum machines, different stuff. The newer stuff, going from the Fantom, I kind of knew then that I would end up with one of these boxes. I think I mentioned it during one of our live streams because we used to live stream here every night and build on the Fantom. And yeah, it was something that always stood out in the workflow was the TR, and these boxes came out. The 8 and the 6 came out, I think, around the same time as the Fantom did, if I'm not mistaken. Around that time, so 2018, 2019-ish. I mean, they've been out for 5-6 years, so just about as long as the Fantom has been out. But I knew then, with all the problems with polyphony and everything, I said, you know what? And the space that it takes up, I was like, I'll probably just end up with one of these little boxes, to be honest with you. You know, and I ended up with a smaller one just for jam's sake, and using these smaller synthesizers. But this box, this drum machine, and the Mini Freak alone is more reasonable than the Fantom. But as far as sound quality goes, but what's even more reasonable than that, which is what I'm going to do, is adding an MPC. You know, because then that will give me all the sampling, time stretching, chopping, and everything that the Fantom's disappointment of a sampler never had and never will have. Bastards. Here's another minimal. It's okay. Anyways, Yeah, so no problem. I always enjoy, sharing what I know about these things and learning and understanding with other people who are, you know, have questions about these. That's why I do the long form exploration. That's why I do the content that I want to do. And most of it has to do with we've got business, we've got work, we've got music, and through that, there's a journey to be had, and through the journey to be had, it's like, there's a lot of people that are either on the fence or, you know, just looking into getting certain things. And these companies always whitewash their problems, or they oversell it. The Phantom is oversold as a workstation. It wasn't really at the beginning. They were trying to gear out of the workstation classification, um, because of the issues they were having. But yeah, so I always like to go through these with everybody and let everybody know where they stand. But I'm really impressed with this. I didn't think I'd have as much fun as quickly. With the complaints. The complaints with this are the song mode, and let's see the limitations on the song mode, and what's the other chief complaint? There's a few minor complaints that I like. That. That's kind of funky. Sample is that? Udu Pot Long. This is their percussion. I do like that sound though. I was gonna go through all the variations, huh? Ah, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, what the hell is this? Bunch of crazy assholes. Alright, and then right here. Jesus. Stop doing that. So then the fourth one. Yep. I'll leave that one there. Okay. Just goofing off here, guys. Trying to get my hands around the workflow, or my head around the workflow. I'd say my hands mostly, because that's what I really need to get around is the muscle memory. Sorry, I'm trying to think and act at the same time while I'm trying to talk. Oops. Oh, I messed it all up. Now it's not on there. See what I get? That's the beauty about it, that I didn't just discover that now, but a couple days ago I discovered this. If you leave outside of the project that you are working on and there are changes on it reflected by this little asterisk star or whatever here, um, yeah, go back to it and it'll still have it ready to save for you. It won't take you completely out of your project. Now, with the Fantom, if you did that and you played anything else, you would lose every single change. So if you did what I did there and you accidentally went to a different pattern or whatever, whoopsie daisies. But hey, it's a cool little feature, huh? See, now it's sticking to the variation that I was in. Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh? Bubble drunker. You know, the lens likes to dance with it. Alright, I'm going to want to goof off with that later, so I'll just save it. Why not? Why not? Alright, let's go to the next one. And we're already in the threes. So here we go. It's weird. Let's pause that. So it only has these three variations filled out. Sorry about your guys' ears. God, that earthquake kick is so heavy. It's terrible. I accept that. was the other complaint that people had. These in the way that they step, the way that they are limited to whatever they do, to where you can't manipulate them, whatever. I don't understand the complaint if I don't understand the workflow. So something along that line. So just weird stuff like, instead of the cool stuff like it was doing on that other one. Welcome. Fun times. All right, let me save that. What are we in? Shift Rally. Shift Rally override. Yes. That was a fun little groove. See, yeah, and there's some of these that I do want to keep. So what I'll end up doing is that I'll be taking the ones that I want to keep, moving them to the front, and then taking all the ones after that that I don't want to keep and clearing them out, and then just developing my own patterns. One of the reasons why we're doing this and why we're doing it this way is because I want to get things going for this to get the Inky Jam going, because time clock's ticking on that. All right, what do we got? Sounds like an excellent filler. Here in the Pacific Northwest, what is that thing called? Something cyclone. I like it. Like, it's something that'll grow on me. I'll probably use that idea somewhere. Oh, classic. Act like I ain't heard this before. So yeah, it's a cool little set of grooves that it comes with to get you started. So that's what saved me my first two hardware jams, because I was like, okay, the first one I got away with because the Labyrinth made some kicks. The second one I couldn't get away with. I had to get some kicks of my own. I changed the samples on this one. Playing around with it. So that's technically what the song mode is. Like, you could program the variations to have the thing in the variation. And I guess that's where the record comes in handy. Now, this was one that I had reworked. Just these two. And then this one. So it's cool. I don't mind it. Lo-fi hip-hop. This is what they think lo-fi hip-hop is. Definitely not lo-fi hip-hop. Again, more grooving tunes. So it comes with quite a bit. I use this one. They have stuff right away that you could use to just jam out to. I reworked this one, I think. This one I reworked because drum and bass is my shit. I don't know really. I mean, they have the same engine under the hood. They're the same, you know. The hardware's a bit different. There's more samples in the 8. There's 3,000. There's a few of them on here. There's enough to get by, but the SD card, you could import your own samples. There's the knobs for each one individually, so you got all the channels and then the knobs that you have for each one. So I mean, quite a bit of difference, and then it's twice as much. I mean, this is only 400, so it may be its little brother, but it packs quite the punch. And I could have got the bigger one, but I needed something smaller. I needed something more portable. This is battery powered. I think the 8S maybe battery. Maybe you could do batteries in it too. I'm not 100% sure about that. But they have the same engine, so the sound quality is about the same. So where's the... I can change the other to something else. problem. Goofing off here. 70. Yeah, somebody's working overtime here. It's very interesting. I've used this one. And I think that, yeah. I reworked the samples on this and then started using it my own. Especially if you do a lot of 4 on the floor jams, there's probably about, I would say, 6 of them. So if you do house or techno, stuff like that, it's pretty, but I mean, you could easily work a 4 on the floor in the TR. But if you don't know what you're doing and you're figuring it out for the first time, there's some options for you. Meh. I thought this one was interesting. Just because this one. Interesting little tune. Afro beats. They really got the wrong names on some of these. Don't know what I'm doing, but I need a good drum machine. Exploring my options. Yeah, ease of use, it's pretty good. Affordability, it's around $400 range, so it's good on there. Sound quality wise, I was talking about this earlier. Let me find something I could give you a really good basis of comparison here. Even this one. Here we go. Sound wise, it sounds really good, except for, does it? That's when I turn off my SSL transformers in the interface. And this is when I take it down to the EQ down. So I gotta beef it up a bit. Beef up the highs, beef up the lows. Splash that 4K SSL on it. So if you have something to plug this into, it'll sound great. You could get away with plugging it into an interface to make it sound good. I have it plugged into a Yamaha mixer. And I run all my gear through the Yamaha mixer just to provide, especially because I have a couple digital synthesizers here. just to provide some of that analog quality to it and giving me some control as well as the effects, which I don't use as much for the gear as I do for my voice. But for the gear too, because running the delay and having the options on it when I'm running the synth, it's a really good thing to have. Of course, with YouTube's compression, none of them will sound the same. Yeah, I really had it out with YouTube's compression, and that's why the standard of limiting and compression on your own as far as mastering goes for the masses, while it matters, like it's really overdone. The standard or whatever is what, below 6 dB or something like that, as far as the perceptive hearing or something like that. I don't live by that standard. I I take all mine to zero. I throw a brick wall at zero and then I take it -1. And that's about as far as I go because I get everything right in the mix, ahead of time, so I don't have to do a bunch of working in the master. But my music sounds louder, it sounds beefier, and people wonder where the sound quality has gone in the Sonics. And yes, a lot of it has to do with the gear and the gear being thinner, but it also has to do with the way that it's processed in the end. And people aren't using hardware to process, that's one thing, but people are over processing with their software and over limiting and using too much compression or letting the AI do it, when music is too abstract for AI to figure out how to master correctly. you know it always does a better service to your music to learn as much as you can, to know the difference between things. But if you're just getting into things and you're trying to start things out and you need a drum machine specifically, as far as bang for the buck goes, I was looking for bang for the buck. I was at first looking at the Arturia Drum Brute, which I know is kind of dated, but judging how I love all the other stuff, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll get one. It'll be fine. But you can't sample with it. It's only the patches that they have, and then you could manipulate through that, but you're stuck within the confines of it. But the advantage is the sequencer, I think. Um, but having gone from a Fantom and understanding the uh, the sonics and stuff like that, and understanding that it probably won't sound as beefy as I want it right out of the box, but plugging it into the mixer definitely will, especially with the SSL. So I'm good. But that was one of the biggest disappointments, and the first disappointment with the Roland Phantom was that when I bounce out a track, yes, I did that because I thought that I'd have the keyboard as a full workstation and use it as a full workstation and be able to, export my project. And as I did, you could only do it. I think you could do it at 24-bit now, but then you could only do it at 16-bit. 16-bit is fine for sampling and beat making and whatnot. But if you're recording in 24-bit and, it is something that you're just going to, and it makes sense with the sound quality of everything, and stuff is going up to 32-bit now. This new SSL interface, the upgrade from this model is 32-bit. So I immediately had to get the interface, and as soon as getting the interface and getting the SSL 4K on it, I was like, oh, well, this completely changes the sound, the sonics of the Fantom, and I started really considering it, Yeah. Living on the edge. Yeah, I'm a rebel. I'm an audio rebel. And that's the thing, people compliment the drums and the sound and everything, People thought the Phantom sounded so good sonically, and I'm like, wait. It sounds okay, but the reason why it sounds so beefy is the extras that you're doing. So if you have the means to do the extras, it's still going to get you there as far as a drum machine goes, because this is pretty much what the standard of things have been for gear. A flat frequency response that hits the range of modern music, which is flat frequency. Because it's worked for Yamaha, for their speakers and stuff like that. So why not? Why not put it in your audio equipment? If people are trying to get it to that level with the way that they're mastering things, why not just include it to be close to that level anyway? The problem is that modern music to most people sounds a bit thin. That's why it sounds a bit thin, because so much of it is not being processed off the back end, and it's just going through. And it's a shame, but it's the world we live in. But if you want to stand out and have that beefiness, yeah, gotta have something. A lot of people use guitar pedals, like the M1 Walrus is on sale. I think it's Walrus. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with pedals, but that is a synthesizer pedal, I believe, and that's on sale right now. The Chroma console would be a good thing to run through this. The what the hell is that? It's a Digi analog heat. The analog heat would be a good thing to beef up the sonics. But if you want to get away on the cheap, those other things that I mentioned, a few $100s, this mixer was only a few $100s, but it's also, a bigger one. Here, let me just get up here with the camera. So there's the mixer. And I got the one with, a little bit of channels, just because if you have more than one synthesizer, it's pretty much what you're going to need. So, but I could run everything off of this, all my effects and everything. So it gives the analog sound quality that you would want. Some of those characteristics to kind of, not squash, but kind of, I would say dampen the harshness of the digital to where it's not too digital sounding. Let's see. Come on. All right. Let's go through. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think this is where all the 808s are hiding. Nice. No, you're good. So you can tell it's quite the mix of things. Most of them are dancey party. You could tell they missed the mark on a lot of them. Like this one. See? Even though they market to hip hop, And I learned that with the Fantom. Oh, my bad. What the shit is that? Here, let's break it down for you again. You get a pattern that sounds so good, and you're going to break it down, and you're like, okay, you break it down, and you go, poof, poof, drum roll, whatever, you know what I mean? Make it sound real good. And for some reason, they just go, boom, boom, ta-tom, tom, boom. Must be a ninth wonder. Tink, 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 tink. Like, why? Clearly, in their development, they lack the hip-hop producers in the room. They don't start thinking about the hip-hop producer on their hip-hop gear or the more hip-hop patches or presets until after it's already released and the marketing is out there. And they're like, oh, well, let's get some of these hip-hop guys that we know to sell these, you know, urban devices. And it's like, how about you get one of them in the room with you in development to help you run through some of these patches and let you know what works and does not work in hip-hop. You know, that's a great 808 to have. But, like, remember, it was... Oh, hold on. It was here. And that's cool, whatever, you want to keep that, but in the hippity hop, we like that. We like that ring out. We like that bass that travels, and if you're going to do an 808, you want to travel with that. And I think this tempo was a lot more too. Thomas, welcome. Kitty getting treats. Kitty getting treats. Kitty getting treats. Kitty crack. Kitty crack. Crack for the kitty. Crack for the kitty. Crack for the kitty. Get some crack for the kitty. Get some crack for the kitty. Kitty crack. Get some crack for the kitty. Kitty crack. Get some crack for the kitty. Kitty crack. Kitty crack. Kitty crack. Kitty crack. Kitty can't go to sleep without her crack treats. See, they go places, and I appreciate how they go places, but it's just like this. I mean, some of them are classic for sure. Some guy. Probably. A lot of these were in the Fantom. Not this one, because I made this one custom. See, when I start getting into my own stuff over here and go into the sampling, the E ski, and then over here, those were in the E ski 16 shot too, and then my converted Tussin kit, the E ski 16 shot, and I don't know what's on there, so it must have been whatever they already had programmed. Yeah, so it's a lot different when you start making your own stuff. All right, let me take this down a little bit. Thump. There you go. Oh, my bad, guys. So there we have it. After about a month, only using this a couple times a week, and haven't really sat down. I sat down like 2 times with it. The first time was just trying to figure out the odds and ends and trying to wrap my mind around how patterns are built individually. And the second time sitting around was figuring out the sample portion, trying to figure out, what I was going to do about getting all these samples in. I've tried so many different things to be able to get through because, like I said, when I go in to try to sample for stuff, and you go into utility and where's the sample part? There we go. Sample. We go to import the samples. And every time I try to grab a whole folder, no matter how small the folder is. Tussin's a small folder. Look at it. Get my Tussin pack over here. Look at that. Boom. Error. I cannot input whole folders. And I don't know why. Because there's nothing in the folder. There's no metadata or anything in the folder that makes it problematic. Whoops. So, just like, okay, fine. I'll just do it. File by file by file by file by file. Every single one. Let's take it at the very end. The enzyme. Sample some of my enzyme. And the irony is that it's straight from the Fantom. My converted Tussin sample pack came straight from the Roland Fantom. Ooh, that enzyme is a big one. Look at that. Whew. All right. What is it? I don't think I have anything in this one. All right. Let's see. Let's take it over here. See if I could find that the most recent one I put in here. The enzyme one. That's what we're looking for. So it's got a Z in it. Nope. Yeah, and that's the disadvantage to this that a lot of people find is the with the screen being small. I mean, it has all the information you need on it, but the problematic thing is that you have to do all the menu diving on it. I just wheezed there. I know you guys heard it. I know you guys. The mic picked it up. This stream is over. It'll be like the last one. I'll delete it afterwards. All because I wheezed. So you can see here that I've sampled a little bit, like a few whole kits. There's that Neve. Where's that enzyme at? See, that's why I was going slow, because I was going slow and I still didn't find it. And there's no way to, like, get to the one that you want. You can't, like, search for the one you want. So, I mean, this thing does have its problems. But for what I want to use it for, the jamming part, the only thing I need to do really is just import my own sounds. I'll figure out the workflow element of it. That's the easy part. I mean, I just learned a couple things on this stream already about variations and stuff like that. Come on, where did you go? I thought it'd be in the back because it's enzyme. I wonder if it didn't take. There it is right here. Nice. Now you are listening to the exclusive enzyme model expansion that is on the Roland Fantom. He said that thing should see a psychiatrist. Yeah, you know, it's got a little learning disability. You know, could benefit for some medication, maybe. You know, it's a good thing I'm a doctor. No, I'm a virus. I'm no good to this. I'm over here throwing the enzyme model expansion in here. Yeah, so I got that on it, and it'll handle it just fine. So, you know, go over to here, grab a, where are we at? Let's see, what's the tempo? 120. Yeah, why not? Now you could, on here, you could audition your thing. All right. So then over here, we'll. I think we'll keep that and we'll do hats over here. Why is it all muffled? It's weird that it's all muffled like that. There we go. All right, let's just go with that, I guess. kind of useless for this kind of workflow. And besides, it's what I got synthesizers for. And you know what? There we go. Now I have a new thing to work on. So, I mean, I got that much down. Like, the workflow is not a problem. Like, sampling samples is not a problem. And obviously, tweaking out stuff is not a problem because you just do it up here and forever. Not a problem. It's just getting through some of the intense menu diving. You know, there's a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of stuff that is not really clear cut. And being somebody like myself who does most of my work hands on, you know, it's kind of difficult to go through. As much as we love the startup guides for something like this. Something like this, you just want to pick up and play. And that's what I've been doing. I've been picking up and playing. And even now, dedicating some solid time to it. Here we are, 2 hours in. And my average was I learned about a thing an hour. Because I've learned 2 things that I didn't know previously before this stream. And you know what? I'm good with that because it's 2 more things that I'm aware of that I wasn't before. And most of what I need to do now is just sit there and go through this process. I got to sit there. Where am I at? Go to sample. Oh, wait, no. Got to go over here to sample. Got to go to import, right? Got to do file because folder won't work. I already got all the 16-shot drums in there. Let's start with the acoustic drums. I got to do acoustic. So how many do we have here? I can't tell because I'd have to let it all run. So I got to count them all, piece by piece, because it'll show them all. So let me go up to the top. There we go. And the first one's a hat. Acoustic hat. Hooray. Executing. Now we have it. Utility. Import. File. Got to go to the kit that I want, which is the acoustic drums. Hey, look at that. The right or the front. Not the first hat, but the second one. Do it again. Now I got 2 hats from the acoustic patch. So on and so forth. Hundreds of times. I have to do that individually to every single one that I want and have to sit there and go through the painstaking process of utility, import, file, find, It's all cool now because I'm on the third. What happens when I get to the 28th or the 48th or the 116th? I'm going to have to sit there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. Just to make sure that I get the right one imported. And that is people's chief complaint with the importing process. When this was on bad gear, that was the main feature flaw. Is the egregious menu diving you have to go through to grab your samples. Oh, math, I can't count. Well, see, that's the thing. You don't have to know the number. But I guess if you can't count, there you have it. By the end of it all, you will be the Roland math. You know what? Roland hasn't lost me completely because it's not like Pro Tools or Waves. Like I will never use Avid again because they screwed up a deadline, and Waves with everything they did to our community and screwing up my plugins after doing that, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So there's not many companies out here that I won't mess with at all, but Roland, they don't like me very much. I could tell you that, and there's good reason, but it's good goddamn reason why I say the things I say and do the things I do. They want people on YouTube to shill for their product and not, be forthcoming about the problems, and or just try to gloss over them. And they really screwed up with the Fantom. And they've tried to sweep it under the rug. And because they tried to sweep it under the rug, that's not why I've exposed the Fantom for the flaws. I exposed it because I have a lot of friends in this world. We have a lot of friends in this world that may or may not be interested in a Fantom, and the things that would be deal breakers to them kind of broke the deal with me. And what did it the last time around was the fact that all that time after the enzyme model expansion was released, 2 years later, when I thought that they were upgrading their patches and putting more enzyme patches in, they just re-released it with the EX. And, the way that they did their money thing, I could deal with that, just as long as you give me a good piece of gear. So I didn't care about the extra charge and the refunding and all that other stuff. That stuff didn't bother me. But what bothered me is that they tried to repackage with the Fantom EX upgrade the enzyme model expansion as if it were brand new when it was 2 years old. And then when you got the Fantom EX upgrade, it's really limited on the amount of patches. So even though there were a couple hundred that were, halfway decent, it was still only the Juno and the Jupiter. Nothing new. So that's the big problem with the Roland Fantom. It's just a bunch of their old sounds, and it's up for the user to sound design something new out of it. And I think that just sucks. On top of it, there's polyphony issues. There's no time stretching in the sampler. All these things that, I expected them to have because their other equipment has them. Their previous Fantom has had them. This has options on it. Like I said earlier, the ACB technology is in the drums. The ACB technology, they just released the Juno 106 expansion of the EX or the ACB. And it's like that's all said and good, but the Juno 106 is like the most replicated instrument out there. It's used, it's been done, it's been overdone. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that it's 2024, the end of 2024, and you're introducing a Juno 106 expansion into your flagship with analog circuit behavior technology that is, what, 6 years old? And you're introducing that as if it's new? That's just crazy to me. But no, it was the way that they repackaged their Fantom. It wasn't the enzyme and them reselling that was the deal breaker with the Fantom. Even that was acceptable to me. And even them having limited patches in the EX, I was like, okay, fine. Oops, my bad. Just hit the cord over here. The EX upgrade, it's great, is exactly what the Fantom needed, but it wasn't enough. But I was fine because I was like, okay, they're going to give out some more of this later, even if we have to pay for them. We'll get more EX sounds. It seems like this is the standard. Cool. And what did they do? 5 months later, they re-released the Roland Fantom as if it were brand new and painted the Fantom EX logo on it so people wouldn't have to go through the egregious process of upgrading their Fantom right when they get them, you know, to be able to play the EX upgrade because how convoluted the upgrade process was. It's not that people wouldn't do it. It's fine. You know, it's just you lose a lot of people that way. But yeah, that was just it for me. I knew right then and there that Roland wasn't going to really care about the Fantom the way that they did. But they only treated the Fantom that way. You know, they've had their shortcomings in other things. Like people have their problems with this. I'm not going to have some of those same problems. Yes, I am going to have the same problem with the whatever the hell that is, with the sampling, because it's such an egregious, tedious process. But once that process is over, this box is going to be fully loaded with all my EA ski drums, my converted Tussin pack. So if I want to grab my synthesizer and use it in the TR, I can. And I'll have that beefiness in the dynamics and the uniqueness in the drums and being able to tweak out the EA ski drums on the fly. I got this for jamming. I'm not looking to make songs with this. But if I am looking to make songs with it, all I need are four bar variations. If I generate 4 bars or record 4 bars, I can make anything out of those 4 bars. You know, and I could make more than that with the variations here. So I already got a leg up on recording. But if I were to add something like a loop station and then recorded that into it, it'd be different. So I might do that. But we also need the sampler, so we're going to do the MPC so we can hand it off to one of our friends. And yeah, that'll be a fun little thing. Did you try push gear like that? No. Okay, so I tried it and I didn't like it. But then I saw Mike Clark at the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2010. And this might sound weird, this story here for you guys. So I performed at the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2010. It was my second time being there, my first time as like an artist, right? And, you know, had a golf cart and everything getting around. Mike Clark is the producer to Insane Clown Posse. He's also like a DJ. He does his own set. So when the push came out, he was running the mix during his set with all his sounds and all the stuff that he did, and he does phenomenal production. That's what made them guys so big. And I was like, I've never seen somebody get down on a push so heavy. And I was like, whoa, that could be cool. But then some of my DJ friends, some of my other DJ friends that were really into it, yeah, I tried it. I didn't like it. And I didn't want to get into that workflow. However, the Fantom has a push workflow. It's just digital on the touch screen. So even though the song building is a different type of workflow, the workflow on the Fantom itself in the main area is the same concept as push. So I could tolerate it now that I've learned that workflow and I've kind of dealt with it. But I'm not as much of a fan as something more like linear. Push is expensive, especially the standalone. Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing, too. I'm not a fan of Ableton. You know, Ableton was one of those things that I tried early on, like 20 years ago, and I didn't like it. And that was back when I think Dell was using it. And that's why I got it to try it, actually, because I saw him using it, and I was like, huh. You know, and I like the beats he was making because he was using a lot of hardware and stuff. And that was the thing that I've come to realize with Ableton. A lot of DJs and a lot of hardware people that use it as for live performance prefer Ableton. I don't. Around that time, I was into Fruity Loops as my main DAW, and it was Fruity Loops then. That was before the Kellogg's lawsuit. But I'm going to go through it here on this channel during one of these live streams, probably next week. I'm going to go through a lot of my old Fruity Loops beats and some of them that I haven't used, you know, others that I may want to repurpose. But yeah. So that's pretty much it here, folks, as far as this goes. What are we on, the little thing we did? Let me go down a little bit. I'm getting there with this thing. If I had the time to sit there every day and like actually like focus my attention on it, I'd be flying with it. But it's not like an emergency. Just need it for jamming. Don't need it for song building. But we're going to take some more time with it. And I'm going to learn what I can offline when I can on my days off from streaming. And yeah, I like it. Bang for the buck. Anybody looking for a drum machine out there? Yeah, I mean, you got, if you could lug around the 8S, that's definitely the move. But portability wise and affordability wise, oh, that reminds me, I should put the things in them. That's the thing that's dope about it too. Let me cut it off over here so I don't. Look at that. Bye. Oh, I guess it's off, so it doesn't matter that I have it connected. Yeah, just the batteries in here. Now, rechargeables don't work. And I remember I remember somebody mentioning that rechargeables don't work, but I tried it anyway. I tried it anyway, and not only do they not work, but the unit itself drains full batteries. So I charged up the full batteries, and yeah, I put them in here. I turned it on. So I might as well do this while we're on stream so you guys could see it. And I could test it, see if it works. I'm sure they will not have problems. This is the power cord right here. So it's connected just to a USB. It doesn't come with a base. It just comes with the cord to do whatever with. So I had to get me a base. So yeah, got some lithiums today. Let's see if lithiums work in it. I imagine they would. Whew. It's bright. And I like the runoff too, just the same way the Fantom does when you turn it off, just like any other DAW. Very, very dope. So yeah, bang for the buck. So far, I mean, it's worth our money here because it's exactly what we needed. We needed a portable box to jam in, one that we could take out if we need to go into the field and do whatever out there. Really dope stuff. And we're getting there. We're learning, everybody. That was 2 hours and 2 things that we learned that are brand new. And those 2 things, you know, make a lot of difference into moving forward. But for now, we're probably going to spend about a week of doing that tedious process of the sampling. But once we do, boy, oh boy, this is going to be one beefed out summer bitch for sure. I look forward to it. Make sure you guys leave a like on the way out, and if you're not subscribed to this channel and you're still here, please do so. And yeah, we got a sale going on our website, so check us out. I will be officially announcing the sale pretty soon in some content. Join us tomorrow at the same time, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sunday through Wednesday. And yeah, so tomorrow is technically our Friday, our last day streaming. But never fear, we also do Saturday during the day sometimes. So tomorrow we will probably do the MPE exploration like we tried to do before my little mishap. Won't happen again. I can promise you that. Well, I can't promise you that. It's like a once in a lifetime thing, you know. I'm just glad I'm still alive after that. I just hope. We have a bomb cyclone happening in the Pacific Northwest. And 2 things before we get off here. Let's go into the old radar here, and yeah. Holy shit. Yo, I posted in our Discord. We have an exclusive Discord for channel members here. And I posted this earlier this afternoon in the way that it looked like then. Yeah, it's really developed. It's gotten a lot more windy, and here we are. So yeah, if the power goes out or anything like that, you won't be seeing us. But I think we'll be okay for the most part. Where we're held up is yeah, pretty good. We're pretty good right now. We'll see. We'll see just how aggressive the storm gets. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard. Leave a like on your way out and all that. And yeah, thanks for joining us in this. It's not really that aggravating, exploring these things. It's just it's aggravating having the learning style that I do, to where I have to dig in and learn it rather than go through it and check the manual. But I think we're far enough into the process to where we could start looking at the manuals a little bit, because it's only a very couple specific things we're trying to learn here, and we're getting along with it. It's been about a month, and we have used it on 4 jams, I want to say, and it's been a real sweet ride, you know. And as much contention as I had with the Fantom and all its flagship glory, it's a lot easier to swallow the problems on a $400 piece of drum machine that you only need for live jamming, song building, all that other stuff. There's nothing that you're going to get along with just having the one thing in the box. Even an MPC, you need a keyboard and a DAW. You don't need those things, but you want to do those things. And even though it's like a DAW in a box, you want to not a DAW, you want to throw it into a computer because you want to process it on the way to the computer. You know what I mean? Or if you're throwing it into a soundboard, it's going from the soundboard to somewhere. Chances are that too that it's going to is a computer, unless you're throwing it into another MPC. So you're never going to get along with just one piece of gear, and the problems that people have in general are not my issues to be had. But since we do have this, and since we do have this YouTube channel, and we do have spectators involved and friends of ours who may or may not be considering getting one of these things, it will be on full display here, just like everything else in the channel, so you guys can get a good, accurate representation of what it's like to actually go through the process of owning this crap. You guys see me go through it with the Fantom. That shit ain't never coming back. Word. That ain't never coming back. Anyways, love you guys. Take care. Peace.